What happens when you mess with an ex-military dog handler holding her newborn baby? You're about to find out why that's the worst mistake you could ever make. Picture this: you're a new mom, just trying to enjoy a peaceful afternoon with your 3-week-old baby at the local park. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and everything seems perfect. Then suddenly, a pack of unleashed dogs comes charging straight at you and your infant. Most people would panic, scream, or run. But Sarah Martinez isn't most people. Sarah spent 8 years as a military working dog handler in the Army, deployed twice to Afghanistan where she worked alongside some of the most elite canines in the world. She knows dogs better than most people know themselves. And when those 4 unleashed dogs came barreling toward her and baby Emma that Tuesday afternoon in Riverside Park, every single one of her military instincts kicked in. The dog owners? 3 college guys in Letterman jackets who thought it was hilarious to let their dogs run wild. They were laughing, recording on their phones, completely oblivious to the danger they'd just created. What they didn't know was that they'd just picked a fight with someone who could speak fluent dog and had nerves of steel. Here's what most people don't understand about aggressive dog situations. When multiple dogs are involved, it's not just about the individual animals anymore. It's pack mentality. And pack mentality can turn even friendly dogs into potential threats, especially when there's a baby involved. The scent of a newborn, the high-pitched cries, the protective energy of a mother, all of these factors can trigger unpredictable behavior in dogs. Sarah's first move wasn't to run or scream. Instead, she shifted baby Emma to her left arm and immediately changed her body language. Years of military training had taught her that confidence and calm authority could control even the most chaotic situations. She planted her feet, squared her shoulders, and did something that shocked everyone watching. She started giving commands. Not just any commands, but the specific military working dog commands she'd used hundreds of times in combat zones. Sharp, clear, authoritative sounds that cut through the chaos like a knife. The first dog, a large German Shepherd mix, actually stopped mid-charge. His ears perked up, tail lowered, and suddenly he wasn't running anymore, he was listening. The second dog, a pit bull terrier, kept coming. But Sarah was ready. She used a technique called spatial pressure, positioning her body to create an invisible barrier that dogs instinctively respect. It's the same method she'd used to control military working dogs during high-stress operations overseas. But here's where it gets really interesting. The third dog, a golden retriever that should have been friendly, was showing signs of resource-guarding behavior. He was fixated on baby Emma, which in dog psychology can be extremely dangerous. Sarah recognized the signs immediately: the stiff body posture, the intense stare, the slight lip curl that most people would miss completely. The college guys were still laughing, still recording, completely clueless that their harmless fun had created a potentially deadly situation. One of them even yelled, "Come on, they're just playing." Playing? This wasn't playing. This was a ticking time bomb. Sarah made a split-second decision that probably saved her baby's life. She used what's called a pressure flip, an advanced dog handling technique where you use the pack leader's own energy against the group. She focused all her attention on the German Shepherd, the obvious pack leader, and gave him a command in the exact tone and cadence used for military working dogs. The result was immediate and dramatic. The German Shepherd didn't just stop, he dropped into a submissive position. And here's the amazing part about dog psychology: when the pack leader submits, the entire pack follows. Within seconds, all 4 dogs had backed off and were showing submissive body language. The college guys stopped laughing real quick when they realized their dogs were now completely under the control of this woman they'd been mocking. But Sarah wasn't done. She'd identified the real problem: irresponsible owners who had no business having unleashed dogs in a public space with children present. What happened next was pure military precision. Sarah maintained control of the dogs while simultaneously calling for park security using her free hand. She positioned herself strategically so that she had clear sight lines to all potential exits and kept baby Emma completely protected throughout the entire encounter. The police arrived within minutes, and that's when the college guys realized they weren't dealing with some random scared mom. Sarah calmly explained the situation using precise terminology that made it clear she knew exactly what she was talking about. She pointed out the specific behaviors each dog had exhibited, the potential dangers to other park visitors, and the legal implications of having aggressive unleashed dogs in a public space. Officer Rodriguez, who responded to the call, later said he'd never seen anything like it. She had complete control of the situation from start to finish. Those dogs were responding to her like she'd been training them for years. And she did it all while protecting her baby. It was incredible. But the story doesn't end there. The college guys thought they could just leash their dogs and walk away. They didn't realize that Sarah had photographed their faces, their dogs, and had witnesses who'd recorded the entire incident. She'd also noticed something else, bite marks on one of the dogs that suggested these weren't just innocent pets out for a fun day. Sarah's military training had taught her to observe everything and miss nothing. Those bite marks told a story of possible dog fighting or abuse, which explained the aggressive behavior. She immediately reported this to animal control, leading to an investigation that uncovered an underground dog fighting ring operating out of the college campus. The 3 college students were arrested 2 weeks later on charges including animal cruelty, operating an illegal gambling enterprise, and reckless endangerment. Their dogs were rescued and rehabilitated through a specialized program for formerly abused animals. As for Sarah and baby Emma, they became local heroes. The park now has stricter leash laws and better enforcement thanks to Sarah's advocacy. She started a program teaching parents basic dog safety and behavior recognition, skills that could prevent dangerous situations before they escalate. But perhaps the most amazing part of this story is what happened 6 months later. The German Shepherd from that day, the pack leader who'd responded so quickly to Sarah's commands, ended up being adopted by Sarah's family after completing rehabilitation. His name is now Charlie, and he's become baby Emma's devoted protector and best friend. The other 3 dogs were also successfully rehabilitated and found loving homes with families who understood their needs and histories. It turns out that with proper training and care, even dogs with traumatic backgrounds can learn to trust and love again. Sarah's story teaches us something important about preparedness, confidence, and the power of specialized knowledge. Her military training didn't just help her control some aggressive dogs, it potentially saved her baby's life and led to the rescue of 4 abused animals. Military working dog handlers undergo some of the most intensive training in the world. They learn to read canine body language like a book, understand pack dynamics, and maintain calm authority in life or death situations. These aren't skills most civilians ever need, but when you do need them, nothing else will work. The incident also highlights a growing problem in many communities: irresponsible pet ownership and the increasing number of dog attacks in public spaces. According to recent statistics, there are over 4.5 million dog bites in the United States every year, with children being the most common victims. What makes Sarah's story so remarkable isn't just that she protected her baby, it's that she did it without harming any of the dogs involved. Her military training emphasized de-escalation and control rather than aggression. She understood that the dogs weren't evil, they were products of their environment and training. The college students learned a hard lesson about responsibility and the consequences of their actions. Their harmless prank could have resulted in serious injury or death, not just to baby Emma but to other park visitors as well. Instead, it led to justice for abused animals and improved safety for the entire community. Today, Sarah continues her advocacy work and has been featured in military publications as an example of how service members can use their training to make a positive impact in civilian life. She's also working on a book about dog safety for families, sharing the knowledge that saved her daughter's life that day. But there's another incredible detail that makes this story even more amazing. During the investigation that followed, animal control officers discovered that Charlie, the German Shepherd who had been the pack leader that day, actually had previous military training. He'd been a retired service dog who was supposed to be in a specialized care program but had been illegally sold to the dog fighting ring instead. That's why he responded so immediately to Sarah's commands. His muscle memory kicked in when he heard those familiar military working dog signals. In a way, it was like two veterans recognizing each other across a chaotic battlefield. Charlie knew those commands meant safety, structure, and protection, not violence. The revelation led to a much larger investigation into the illegal trafficking of retired military and police dogs. These animals are supposed to be carefully placed in approved homes or specialized care facilities, not sold to underground fighting operations. Sarah's quick thinking and expert handling didn't just save her baby and expose one dog fighting ring, it helped uncover a network that was exploiting dozens of former service animals. Animal welfare investigators found that many of the dogs in these rings showed signs of PTSD and trauma from both their service years and their abuse afterward. These weren't naturally aggressive animals, they were heroes who had been betrayed by the very system they'd served. The discovery led to new legislation requiring better tracking and protection for retired working dogs. Sarah's story also caught the attention of military publications and veteran support groups. She was invited to speak at several conferences about how service members can use their specialized skills to make a difference in civilian communities. Her presentation, titled "From Combat Zones to Dog Parks: Translating Military Skills for Everyday Heroes," became one of the most requested talks in veteran circles. What many people don't realize is that military working dog handlers develop an almost supernatural ability to read animal behavior. They have to. In combat situations, these dogs are often the only things standing between soldiers and hidden explosives, enemy combatants, or other deadly threats. The bond between handler and dog becomes so strong that they can communicate with just a glance or a subtle change in posture. Sarah explained in one of her talks how this training saved her that day. "I could see the micro-expressions in each dog's face, the tension in their muscles, the way they were positioning themselves relative to each other and to my baby. Most people would just see 4 dogs running around. I saw a tactical situation unfolding in real time." She also revealed something that wasn't in the original police report. During those crucial seconds when the dogs were approaching, baby Emma had started crying. That high-pitched infant cry can trigger even more aggressive responses in stressed or poorly socialized dogs. Sarah had to make split-second calculations about whether to try to quiet her baby or maintain her commanding presence with the dogs. Her decision to keep projecting authority while using her body to shield Emma was textbook military tactics: control the immediate threat first, protect the asset, then manage secondary concerns. It's the same prioritization that keeps soldiers alive in combat zones. The 3 college students involved in the incident faced serious legal consequences beyond just the animal cruelty charges. They were expelled from their university, faced civil lawsuits from other park visitors who had been endangered, and one of them received jail time. Their social media posts from that day, which they thought were funny, became key evidence showing their complete disregard for public safety. The park where this happened has since become a model for other communities dealing with similar issues. They installed better lighting, added more security patrols, and created designated areas for different activities. Most importantly, they started an education program teaching dog owners about proper park etiquette and the legal responsibilities of pet ownership. Sarah partnered with the Park Service to develop training materials for staff on how to recognize potentially dangerous situations before they escalate. She created a simple acronym, PAWS, that helps people identify warning signs, posture changes in dogs, aggressive vocalizations, wrong social dynamics, and stress signals from both animals and owners. 6 months after the incident, Sarah received a letter that brought her to tears. It was from a mother in Seattle whose 5-year-old daughter had been approached by an aggressive dog at their local playground. The mother had seen Sarah's viral video and remembered the techniques. She used Sarah's method of confident body positioning and clear commands to safely de-escalate the situation until help arrived. "Your story didn't just save your baby," the letter read. "It saved mine too." That letter sparked Sarah's decision to create a comprehensive online course for parents, teachers, and childcare workers. The course covers basic dog psychology, de-escalation techniques, and emergency protocols. It's now used by school districts across the country and has been translated into multiple languages. Charlie, meanwhile, has become something of a celebrity in his own right. He's been certified as a therapy dog and now visits schools with Sarah to teach children about responsible pet ownership and animal safety. His transformation from an abused fighting dog back to his original role as a protector and helper has inspired dozens of other rescue and rehabilitation programs. The other 3 dogs from that day have equally touching stories. The pit bull, now named Bruno, was adopted by a veteran with PTSD who trained him as an emotional support animal. The golden retriever found a home with a family who has a special needs child. His natural protective instincts, properly channeled, make him the perfect companion. The mixed breed dog became part of a search and rescue team, using his high energy for finding lost hikers instead of fighting. Sarah's influence extends beyond just dog safety. She's become an advocate for better support systems for military families transitioning to civilian life. Many veterans struggle to find ways to use their specialized skills in everyday situations. Sarah's story shows how military training, properly applied, can make communities safer and stronger. The ripple effects of that single afternoon continue to spread. Sarah now serves on advisory boards for animal welfare organizations, speaks regularly at military transition seminars, and has been consulted by lawmakers working on animal protection legislation. She's even working with researchers studying the psychological bond between handlers and working dogs. But perhaps the most meaningful outcome is the relationship between baby Emma, now a curious toddler, and Charlie. Emma's first word wasn't "mama" or "dada." It was "Char," her attempt at saying Charlie's name. The dog who once ran toward her as a threat has become her constant companion and gentle guardian. Sarah often reflects on how that terrifying moment led to so many positive changes. It's a reminder that sometimes our worst fears can become the catalyst for our greatest contributions. Her military training prepared her for combat, but it was in a peaceful park on a sunny afternoon that she fought her most important battle. The next time you see someone walking multiple unleashed dogs in a public space, remember Sarah's story and don't be afraid to speak up or call for help.